From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A new pilot program will increase mental health services accessibility to rural veterans in Montana. Find out more coming up.
And a sexual harassment complaint against the Montana Department of Corrections gets new support. What a state commission is saying, also coming up. 6:31, Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here. These snowflakes continue to come down as irregularly and as meaninglessly as I've ever seen.
I like that term, meaningless snowflakes. They're falling.
There's no evidence of it whatsoever, and you see it, and then it's gone.
And it's not all over the area. This isn't something that's going to last long. It's not going to be a big inconvenience to anybody.
Clearly.
Yeah. As Chet had mentioned, if you stepped outside the lights, you would know what's happening.
No, you'll never see it. It's the craziest
Temperatures
thing.
right near the freezing mark for Butte and Belgrade, 15 degrees in West Yellowstone, 13 according to our weather watcher Ken there. Just a little tuft of cloud cover that's working its way through here. We just have some forcing in the upper atmosphere. What that means is some really high speeds at the jet stream levels, allowing us to have a little lift that's causing some of those snowflakes. Just a little jet streak trying to move through. Temperatures into the mid to upper 40s today for Bozeman. We'll really begin the warm up heading into your Wednesday. We're going to break it down, take a look at that long-term forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. 6:32 now. The Veterans Administration of Montana has been selected to serve as a new pilot site that will extend mental health services for rural veterans. This program will give veterans more access to varied mental health services like animal therapy, art therapy, and much more. MTN's Tom Buchanan picks up the story.
Under a new pilot program, the VA Montana will expand access to mental health care for veterans impacted by mental health conditions. The pilot program, created under the Commander John Scott Hannon Veterans Mental Health Care Improvement Act, works to increase the mental health workforce and increase rural veterans' access to mental health care. The newly instated law helped to create this pilot program that will deliver rural veterans health services through animal therapy, agritherapy, sports and recreation therapy, art therapy, and more. It's open to those who are living with PTSD, depression, anxiety, or other mental health conditions. The Hannon Act, under which this pilot program works, is dedicated to ex-Navy SEAL Commander John Scott Hannon, who served for 23 years and eventually retired in Montana. He worked to integrate service animals into veterans' mental health programs and worked to develop a group therapy program before dying by suicide in 2018.
Because most of the veterans who do commit suicide in Montana are not connected with traditional therapy or health care. So if we can find ways using alternatives that may connect with veterans, and horses and animals are a way of life for most people in Montana. So if we can try to connect them to that and find ways to help people to talk about what's going on and to address the issues so they don't have to take drastic measures.
The VA Montana has programs that use animals like horses or birds of prey to help veterans heal. Candace Griffith, a retired Montana Army National Guard major who suffers from PTSD, has worked with an animal therapy program, Dog Tag Buddies. She says that the ability to work alongside her service animal, Geo, has given her a newfound purpose and the ability to live a more enriched life.
But at the heart of it, I am able to now live my best life with an animal that can sense discomfort or my needs. So I have a medical aid that goes with me wherever I go. So it's similar to the military where you have that battle buddy.
The pilot program is authorized for 3 years, but the VA secretary can extend the program if they see fit. Reporting in Helena, Tom Buchanan, MTN News.
Thank you, Tom. 6:34 now in other news. A state commission has reversed an earlier decision and ruled in favor of a former Department of Corrections employee who claimed her job was eliminated as retaliation after she made a sexual harassment complaint. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian has more on the decision.
Last week, the Montana Human Rights Commission met to hear an appeal from Adrian Cotton, and after a lengthy hearing, the commission members ended up siding with the former Department of Corrections employee. In a 4-to-1 vote, commission members decided to overturn a November decision by a state hearings officer, who had initially ruled Cotton didn't show a causal link between her sexual harassment claim and her position being eliminated. Commissioners disagreed with the hearings officer's findings, and pointed to what they saw as inconsistent justifications for the department's reorganization. Cotton released a statement to MTN saying, quote, "I'm grateful to the Human Rights Commission for their careful review. The case will now be sent back to the hearings officer, who will consider possible damages." Cotton was previously the Department of Corrections Government Relations Director. That position was eliminated in an agency reorganization in 2018, several months after she complained that the then director, Reginald Michael, had made sexually suggestive remarks to her. She sued the department in 2019 for wrongful discharge and filed a human rights claim with the state. The commission's decision could still be appealed in district court. The Department of Corrections issued a statement on Monday saying, quote, "The department has vigorously denied the allegations contained in the case before the Human Rights Commission and continues to do so. We are in the process of evaluating our next steps." In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
6:36 now. Housing prices have increased by more than 20% across the country since the start of the pandemic. It's leaving many families struggling to afford a place to live. Alexa Liaco shows us a growing movement that's helping older Americans who are especially feeling that impact.
Hey, Maxie, we're coming to see you. Yes, we are. And that big bad man with that big camera.
For Becky Miller, living alone never used to feel lonely.
I'm an only child. I grew up by myself, and I didn't realize how lonely and isolated I was. I thought that was just my life.
But before she wanted company, she realized she needed it.
Well, my IRA was depleted, and I was having a hard time making ends meet, and I work part-time, but that's all I can handle, so I decided that I'd get a roommate.
She found Marlene through a website that matches seniors with roommates.
People on No Hole No say, "How that's just so weird. You're just moving in with strangers and you're not in college anymore." And I'm like, I know, but that's what I want to do now.
Thankfully, it's gone better than either of them expected.
You know, you don't feel alone. Like if we were living alone, you know, it's just a different, that feeling like, yeah, there's somebody here who's got my back.
It's companionship. I know I don't have to eat supper alone.
And together, it's much easier to pay the bills.
When back in the 60s and the 70s or the 80s, it was hard for us to imagine how much more the cost of living was going to be when we hit retirement. For me, this fits really well. I'm saving money to do the things that I want to do.
These women are part of a growing trend helping older Americans afford housing. It's called home sharing, meaning two or more people who aren't related live together to share costs.
For some people, it will provide an alternative for a way that they can at least live independently without having to go to a shelter.
Eileen Doherty works with the Colorado Gerontological Society. She says many seniors are spending 80 to 90% of their monthly income on rent. That's why she's advocating for legislation to give money or tax deductions to people who home share.
I think at this point in time, cash is really what is helpful and beneficial to people who are facing housing crisis.
Colorado, Arizona, Washington, Oregon, and Washington, D.C. are all considering legislation to give rent incentives to home sharers.
I think rent controls, co-ops, home sharing, I think there's a lot of things, roles where government could step in and help facilitate those kinds of things for people so that people aren't having to eat ramen every night.
But until that happens, these women hope more people will see home sharing the way they do, a partnership to pay the bills that can become a friendship worth far more.
I hope that she's here with me for a good long time because I'm afraid that I never would find another roommate like Marlene.
I'm Alexa Liaco.
That's a great little partnership there, by the way. 6:40. We're going to take a break.